The voices of Mid-Island with you here from the Mid-Island Bayreuth Complex. Chris Soriano alongside Brian Happy Trimboli. And the 2017 Mid-Island men's season has come to a close. And it's a familiar sign, Hap. The losers bracket team comes out of the losers bracket to win the championship yet again. It seems like every year that's the case here at Mid-Island men's. What has stood out to you this year in 2017 Mid-Island men's, which I think has been, to date, the best Mid-Island men's season ever that we've ever had?
Not much more to say than that. I think this is probably the most competitive. I think all the teams we had, I mean, even the teams that are no longer with us, were very competitive. Every game, it seemed like every game was a one-run, two-run game. Everybody, we were always, always in the game. Aside from us a couple times, but that's a different story. But you go up and down the line. Any of these teams can play with anybody on any given day. The Astros, came from behind and won it. They're always a thorn in our side, but they're a thorn in a lot of team sides. The Heat were right there. The Tides are right there. They're both quality teams. Played strong all year. The Tribe, when they got their, that's a very good young team. They got their guys back at the right time. They gelled together. They put it together. They made a nice run to the finals. Unfortunately, the veteran play of the Astros overtook everything. Even blue collar, one of our new teams this year, they were very competitive to the end. My Dodgers were competitive at times. Not our best season, but again, we did play with some of the best. And the Hitmen at times were also very competitive. Struggled a little bit, down the stretch with getting bodies, but again, sometimes that happens. And
I think in the National Division too, I think the best thing that we could have done was separate. And again, it's not a knock on the National Division teams, but it just makes it more competitive. And what we saw with the American this year and the National this year, and even the playoffs, which I thought the American Division playoffs, how many walk-offs do we have in this playoff?
I think 4 or 5.
And in the National Division, almost every game, because Tax and Titans, the first game, that was a 10-5 game. Every game was competitive in that playoff. So you had great baseball in the playoffs. I think Anthony Coletti should be really proud of what we have over here at Mid-Island, because the men's playoffs, it's been phenomenal. I'm going to ask you right now, favorite game that you've seen, or not favorite, best game that you've seen this year in Mid-Island men's 2017?
Wow, that is a tough
Now,
question.
I have two, because I have one that I kind of, judging from a minute and a half of video watching, probably the best game, but one that I saw personally. But what has been your...
I don't know, because it's tough. There were too many, like you said before, there were too many competitive games in both divisions. If you told me in the National Division, I'll start there. I would have to go with that championship game that they had with the Titans and Marlins. 2-0, very tight, well-played game. A home run here and another run scored. You can't ask for better baseball than that. I mean, that's great baseball, especially on this stage. In the American Division, you could pick 5 or 6 different games and you wouldn't be wrong. We had a couple of very, very tight, good games with the Astros. We had a couple with the Heat that were tight. We won one, lost one. I'm trying to think of a couple of I think one of the better games that we had was actually, believe it or not, was the Tides Hitmen game. That first round playoff game.
Right.
Hitmen had 1-0 all the way. Tides, and especially coming off the passing of Grandpa Stingo, one of their coaches, seemed to have that force behind them. Is looking down on them. They scored rally for 2 runs in the 7th. To overtake the Hitmen is probably one of the better ones I've seen. But again, everything was so close this year, pretty much, that it's hard to put your finger on one.
I'd say the best game I've seen all year, probably Astros Tribe Game 1. I mean, Astros Heat was really good.
Yes.
But Astros Tribe game 1 and the Marlins Titans game, the championship game, and the Marlins Cubs game too. That was a great game. Peralta pitched a hell of a game, and Doherty and Morelli pitched great for the Cubs. Favorite moment has to be the walk-off of the Tides against the Hitmen. I know that's my team.
Yeah.
By far, I think
it's the most meaningful, most emotional.
That was the most emotional. You know, you got chills when you saw it. That to me was the best moment of 2017.
And you know what? We started these playoffs.
And well, in terms of All-Stars, the classic, the first
the classics
first
guys
run
were no longer
in
with
the
us.
All-Star game. That was a great moment too. He had a
tell
lot
you.
of good moments this year.
The classics shine. The classics were another team. I forgot to mention them. They struggled out of the gate,
It was scrappy.
but they were very scrappy. They put it together, were competitive. Unfortunately, they weren't able to finish. But I mean, things happen sometimes. And
That All-Star game was a show.
but the All-Star game, I mean, they shined. You had Danny DeGiorgio with his 2 home runs and his spectacular defense up the middle. You had Alphonse Sadala with that bomb that I don't think has landed yet over the right field fence, over the trees. That was another team that was right there. So every team could be in that division, and the national division too, pretty much, could beat anybody. Could beat anybody on any given day. I think the best part of this whole season was the beginning of the American playoffs, the first round. All 3 of those first round games were
All walk-offs, yeah.
All of them.
It was amazing baseball.
All of them. And
amazing baseball.
The lowest seed had every team on the ropes, and the highest seed just found the way to do it in the bottom of the 7th inning. And you had that other walk-off that was in the first round, the Tribe walk-off.
The Tribe Blue
down 1 down to their last out.
And they came back.
They get the home run to tie it.
Yeah.
And then they walk off in the 8th in extras. So again, there's you can't say enough about the competition and the games that are played here. And it's great. When you come down here, you're gonna get a good game. You're gonna have a good field. You're gonna
The atmosphere also.
Yep, the atmosphere is great here.
I will say this in closing, really, the moment that will mean the most to me this year, 2017 men's, was the All-Star game in honor of my grandfather. And when my brother, who he's around here somewhere, when you put him into the game in the 9th inning, and he got the scoreless inning, and it wasn't even when I went out to talk to him, but when he looked up at my grandfather and patted the John Nestor.
Yeah, that was pretty meaningful.
To me,
for you guys. I know
that was the thing that meant the most to me, emotionally and personally.
Yep.
And that I cannot thank this league enough for doing that for me and my brother and my family. That was really, truly amazing, and I just get chills thinking about that also because recently it was 6 months. But that was cool. But yeah, we had a lot of great moments this year, and fall ball should be even better. And and again, what we've seen is 7 teams, 10 teams, 14 teams this year to start, and it just keeps getting better and better and better. And fall ball is going to be better and better and better, folks. And again, if you want to be in fall ball, play on a team, bring in your own team. This Tuesday, August 15th, 2017 at 8 p.m. will be a managers and coaches meeting, and I think if anyone wants to maybe call up Anthony Coletti, call up the clubhouse here at Mid-Island. But if you're interested in bringing in a team, coaching a team, come on down, Mid-Island Clubhouse, 8 p.m. August 15th. Happy? Great stuff. All right, and we will be reunited soon.
And watch out for the Dodgers this fall.
Yeah, watch out for the blue, if you know what I mean. Take care, folks.
John, one pitch away.